They say, if you want to be heard, tell a story. If you want to touch the heart, sing a song. If you want to start a revolution, ask a question.
Guess who's in the house at Sensitive Men Rising, the documentary?
Hi, my name is Juri Misaki. I'm from Tokyo, Japan, and I'm so excited to be part of this group because I have always wanted to support highly sensitive men.
She is our coordinating producer, locations producer in Japan.
Yes.
She's a wonderful woman. She's a sensitive woman, and she's on our team for very good reasons, to represent her country and to represent her men and to represent human beings in general. Okay, bottom line. And she has a beautiful country. She's in Tokyo, Japan right now.
I am a career coach, but men don't come to me. They don't come and discuss problems. They try to solve by themselves. And I've always known that that's really, really hard. If you're sensitive, you need someone to talk to about life and career. So that's what I'm trying to do. But now we have this movie coming up. It's going to be really easier for you and for me and for everyone else to admit and love this sensitivity, your trait, my trait, our traits, and utilize them to make this world a better place.
Juri, tell us a little bit about the men in Japan, the state of manhood right now and masculinity. What is going on with our men in Japan?
Japan is probably the world's the highest country with strong masculinity. There's even a research on it. And according to that research, masculinity is translated as competition. Like you have to win, you have to beat someone to win, that kind of nuance. And unfortunately, but not unfortunately, but that's what I feel in masculinity in Japan. So a lot of highly sensitive men, when they come to me, they're like, I may look really macho and strong, but like, to be honest, I think I'm really soft-hearted. Look, I can't even date anyone because I'm so afraid of being dumped. And I don't know what to say. I resonate with the guy so much, but look at him. He's got big body and he looks really strong. And he works, for instance, in like police department or like, constructions, or they are in a really strong looking industry, but they suffer from this tender softness that they have. They don't know how to accept it. So they kept on hiding it. And still probably till today, they don't know how to deal with it. So I feel that highly sensitive men still are looking for a safe place to discuss this topic.
Great. And I think that's what's starting to happen. That's what you're supplying with your writing, your discoveries, because you've been around the world. You've lived in Canada, you lived in other countries. So you have an understanding of how we can make this trait a real usable a trait that can be a lifesaver. Because right now we're in turmoil, right? The world is in turmoil with some bad, unstable leadership and things like that. What the trait brings to people that they don't really get is that it brings deep processing of information. What does that mean? We think deeper. Nothing wrong with that. That's what we need. We want people that think, that they don't just react from a gut level and shoot from the hip, we say, react too fast, right?
Right.
We're empathetic. which is one of the key words for the trait, in my opinion. We're caring. It's about caring. It's about practicing the care and the empathy for others, because that's going to be a big help when you process information about other cultures and other things, right? And then they get overstimulated easy. But that's not a bad thing. We react to too much input. And when too much input comes in, we need our downtime, we need our sanctuaries and meditation, and all those things are good things for people to have anyway, so that we can think about ourselves for 5 minutes and be alone and get your thoughts together. And then we're sensitive to subtleties. What does that mean? We look at things, see things coming. We're not we're visionaries. We're not psychic, but we can logically, with emotional intelligence, look and see what's coming, and maybe we can avoid it because we process the information deeply.
Right.
Isn't that a great thing for Japan to be able to embrace right after all these years? It's like you said, we have less births right now. So the one thing that I know, Jury, is change is the one thing that's a constant. So this is good change for Japan, right?
Exactly.
And why do you think it's good for the country?
Well, the Japanese people, a long time ago, like a few hundred years ago, we are said to have been rich in emotion, and we were more expressive, and we expressed our caring in a lot of different manners. And that's us, but many reasons behind, but we changed over time, but we need to return to those days. And once we are like that, I'm really sure, I believe that our country will be more active and happier people, caring and abundant life. I mean, not only physically, but like spiritually and mentally.
Right.
Isn't that sounds really healthy and really happy. Great.
Yeah, because the culture is kind of shy, right? I mean, I've lived in Japan for a little while, and people are very nice, courteous, kind. Go first. Bow. There's that part of it is really powerful. Tell us about your book.
Sure. I have written 2 books. One is about vocational choice for highly sensitive people, and I emphasize about choosing the right environment, like whether it's being like quiet or nice, but also like people around you. That's what I talk about in this book. And in my second book, which came out last year, this talks about setting healthy boundaries, especially for highly sensitive people, because we tend to mix up other people's feelings and thoughts because we're too empathic, right? I'm saying right. These 2 books came from my experience as HSP career coach in Japan. I think covering these 2 aspects will help the lives of highly sensitive people to be in a better way, a nicer way.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, one of our goals too. One of our goals is to get your books. They're in Japanese right now.
Yes, they're in Japanese right now. Yes.
What we want to do is help get them in English so that other people can read about the culture. I mean, because what you're talking about, even though it's not focused on culture, it's focused on the trait, and the trait is in Japanese culture. So it'd be good for everybody to be able to share and read about it, so that when they come to Japan or meet people that are highly sensitive, they get it.
Yes.
And that's kind of one of our goals. Listen, I know you have a short time with us today,
Yes.
but I wanted to show a little bit of a clip from the film, the one that you're helping us produce. We're going to really push it to be in Japan and to be all over the world. So maybe we watch that. It's about 5 minutes long. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me do the due diligence and share the screen.
Since the dawn of large animals, biologists agree that individuals in most species have been born with one of two survival strategies. The aggressive majority use be first at all costs. The sensitive minority use watch before acting. Both can be successful and exist side by side. In humans, both can be hunters, warriors, protectors of the family, but with different styles. However, as nations have replaced tribes and guns have replaced arrows, some of the majority have used aggression to amass power and abuse the weak. The sensitive minority, ignored and sometimes bullied, have receded further into their quiet watching. This has to change. This must change.
This film has the capability of changing the lives of so many men who may not be aware that they're part of the hundreds of millions of men in the world who share a remarkable personality trait called sensory processing sensitivity.
I think as our sensitivity rises, as our senses rise, as our awareness of ourselves rise, we will become more conscious.
We're here to move humanity forward. Who better but men who are highly sensitive are the people that can help change the world.
Men and our sensitivities, our feminine energy are needed because men that don't embrace their feminine energy within the sense of expression and creativity and language are hurting this planet. Literally, as we do this, a war, ego, greed, money. Not right. And highly sensitive people, I believe, if we come together, will have a voice that says no. There is enough of us to make enough noise about the intolerance of war, hatred, greed. And who would have thought maybe all these little sensitive men come along and say, no, we've had enough. I have. It's about love. And any man who doesn't look at love like this is a man that has to watch this or receive our hugs so they can. And I'm not afraid. I don't feel negated in any way by my sensitivity. Not at all.
Part of the problem is we have this conceptualization in our society that being strong means not showing emotions. Being strong means fighting people when you disagree with them. When I think having the fodder for sensitivity and being able to harness that power in a disciplined way that is controlled, self-controlled, and directed toward making the world a better place, to me, that's the height of strength. Anyone can just go around yelling and what are you resisting there and within yourself? You're not. But what's the strength there? What's the strength there? To me, being able to be sensitive and to not let that take over you and to use that in positive, productive directions is being a real man.
Jury, that was Luke Goss. He plays great action parts in Hollywood, but he's grown up to be a wonderful, sensitive, soulful man. And Scott Barry Kaufman, SBK, he grew up bullied And look what he became, a highly sensitive man, and it's all about human potential.
What do you think is the best practice for a film like this for the world and for Japan?
Oh, I think everyone should watch this movie. Then people who have not recognized that they have this high sensitivity will understand. Oh, that's the word for this. That's what has made me feel like this. And I didn't have a word for it, but now I get it. This is the feeling that I got when I first read the book from Dr. Elaine Aron. And some of the highly sensitive men that I talked to recently have mentioned likewise, like they were like, I think I was different from other people, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it had a name for it. Mm-hmm. But now having heard the name and the definition explains everything. And like, I'm relieved. I'm happy that I know the word. So that I want everyone to get that feeling first from this movie. Then if you wander beyond this feeling, the sense of accepting the sensitivity, then you start thinking how to utilize this sensitivity in your daily life, and not for fighting, not for competing, not for anything brutal or that kind of thing, but to be empathic and to be caring for other people, which we all want to be like. So this movie will be a great starter for everyone, for all the age, for all generation, for all culture, race, whatever. Yes.
I'm hoping that this positive, beautiful, powerful trait called sensory processing sensitivity can do the same thing. We can connect the whole world together, fly above the borders, and become whole, where we can really make it so that children don't have to, when they grow up, have to undo things to understand their sensitivity, because the sensitive thing, the trait, can be a benefit to everybody if they're nurtured properly as children in their environment at home. And isn't it your dream to have a school? Yes. And why is it so important?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. My dream is to have a school or some sort of a system, online system, so that everyone can learn about this trait. It's something that we all need to know. We mean not only the sensitives, but everyone on this planet should know that there's a trait like this. Yeah, so I really want to have a school or an online education system to learn about this trait, how to utilize it, like how to take care of yourself, these kind of like fundamentals for HSPs.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well, Jury, thank you. I want to say thank you to the Japanese culture for allowing us to come and do and spread the word, because it's not a negative, it's a positive for everybody. It's not political, it's not religious, it's a trait, and it's a beautiful, empathetic, caring trait. So let's do something with it. The movie is going to come out next year, early next year. We're in the fundraising process of it now. We're almost there. People are really supporting us, and you are a big supporter, and your culture is as well.
We can make this world a better place, and we need it now.
I'm glad you're one of the foot soldiers for the cause and for the trait, and we will help you any way we possibly can to make your journey easier, to get people to understand what you love so much and dear to your heart.
Yes.
Okay? That's a promise. Okay, so I guess I'll say domo arigato one more time. Thank you so much, Jury, and welcome to the world.
Yes.
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Thank you.
Sensitive Men Rising is a 2-hour documentary. It is a tool and will feature great orators like the British action movie star Luke Goss. Please join the many supporting this transformative, evolutionary, and life-enhancing film, a film that can lead to a better future. The more support we receive, the sooner this film will reach the world.